Okay, so this is the design of the sled. In essence, what we're doing is creating two triangles that are connected to each other. So it's going to have two 6 foot runners in the bottom, and then 3 foot vertical pieces, and then a diagonal piece, which will be a little bit under 81 inches. We'll round up to give us plenty of room to lash on both sides. And then we'll have about a 5 or 6 foot lateral piece here on both sides, which will give us a little bit more stability and will also give us a place to put slats across to actually be able to put gear on the sled or a person. So that we will do. And then we'll have just 30-inch pieces connecting the two different triangles. Then in the back of the sled, what we'll have is you see the same 30-inch side pieces and 36-inch rear posts. And we'll just put a couple triangles just using 4 foot pieces to give us plenty of strength and to keep it from twisting. So this should hopefully work. All right, so the first step, and probably the hardest in a town in the middle of a storm, is going to be finding the wood to actually make the sled. So I'm just going to start looking around and seeing what we can find. So basically, we need to find two 6 foot runners to the bottom of the sled. We need two 36-inch sort of stout pieces for the back, and then one more 81-inch diagonal. We already have one of those from our property, and then two 5 or 6 foot cross pieces for the sides. And we're just going to go look. There's a cemetery, there's a pool club, there are a couple more isolated areas up here. Basically, just going to find anywhere where we can hack off some branches without being seen. So we'll see what we can find. All right, so this is that pool club I mentioned. I doubt anyone's going to be here right now, so we're going to go into there and see if we can find some branches that'll work for us. All right, so this piece right here will make a great 6 foot run on the bottom, and we can get a 36-inch back piece on the top. So we're going to go ahead and take that. So. All right, we just got this piece down, which is great. That's long enough for both of our runners, so that will be huge. Right, this was a beautifully 1-inch piece, completely dead already, so that'll be good. There we got our piece. All right, so it took about an hour and a half all told to gather the materials, just because we had to walk so far. But it's looking pretty good. So the next step is just to cut off the branches with the hatchet and the Bowie knife, and then we'll cut the pieces to size and take them down to the basement to start to assemble it. Pretty good. All right, so the next step is just measure off, in this case, 6 foot lengths, and cut them to size. All right, this is looking really good. So in essence, this is what each side of the sled is going to look like. Cut the sides to length. So now it's really just a matter of attaching it all, and I'll show you all how to do the lashings and the attachments. It'll be good. All right, so this is the basic triangle that we're back in the basement. Now, normally we do this entirely natural with just rope and the sticks. In the interest of time, because it's already almost 2 o'clock, and also this video is going to be much longer than 7 minutes, we're going to use screws instead of wooden pegs in a few strategic locations. You can see we've already done one of these here, and we'll probably do that here too, but I'll show you all the lashing that we'll do. But I'm just, in the interest of time, we're just going to speed it along with that. File down a little seat to put the upright piece into. All right, so now I'm going to show you guys how to do a square lash, which is what we're going to put in the corner here to hold that together. So there's no screw there. So you start just by taking a couple arm's lengths of rope. So to start off the lash, now that we have this all the wood laid out, we're going to do something called a clove hitch. So the way you do that is you put the rope over the piece with your free end above it, then you loop that under and back over the other side like an X. And then you just put it back under again, and then goes right through the middle of the X. Just like that. And that's called the clove hitch. And you can just tie it off with a normal freehand knot to keep it from slipping. And that will be the beginning of your lash. Now, so that's the beginning of pretty much any lash. For the square lash specifically, what we do now is we go down around the one piece, up above the second piece, below on the other side the first piece again, and then back above the original one. And then you just keep doing that same pattern, identical pattern. You do that for 3 loops. And once you've done that 3 times, you do something called frapping. So you go back the other way around the middle of the rope and you pull it tight, and that will keep all the sides of the lash together. And you also do that 3 times. And what that will do is kinch together the rope and make sure it's as taut as possible. And then you just simply finish off the lash with another clove hitch, preferably on the other stick besides the ones that you started with. So you do the same X, put the rope in the middle of the X, and then you pull it really tight so that the whole lash stays taut, and you can just tie it off with a little knot to block it off. And that will hold. So you can see now we have the basic structure, because of the nails it took just a few minutes to throw together, of one of the sides. So we're going to do a little bit more reinforcement with screws and then throw the other side together the same way, and then we'll show you what happens from there. Alright, so actually this front piece, the screw isn't quite long enough to get all the way through. So we're actually just going to do a round lash, which is another type of lashing used when things are closer to parallel to each other as opposed to perpendicular with the square lash. So it starts the same way. You're going to do a clove hitch in the beginning, same exact way as with the square lash. So you create the X through the X like that and tie it off. Now with this, instead of going around the way that you do with a square lash, you're just going to wrap it. And then just like with the square lash, we're going to frap. So we're going to go around the length of the lash and then put it under and pull that tight to cinch it all together. And again, we're going to do this 3 times. Once again, you're going to tie it off with a clove hitch. I'm actually just going to do one over this entire front, just to give it a little bit more of a thing to hold it together. So that will hold that tight, which will be good. And again, we'll cut that off later. The next step is just to put the cross beams on, and that's where whoever or whatever is actually going to be suspended from the sled, because they obviously can't be on the ground, which is going to be in between the runners. So we're just going to do a square lash back there, another either a round lash or something called diagonal lash, which is basically the same thing but in 2 directions, right there. And you can see that when that's done. It won't take long. Great, so that piece is done, and we'll do the same to the other side, and then we just have to attach them together. We did it to both of them. They're looking good, so all we have to do now is cut some cross pieces and put it all together. Alright, so we went ahead and put in all these cross pieces. We just used screws for the sake of time, and then also the supports in the back, which you saw in the original design. So this is now feeling really stable. That's going to be. So here we are, the finished sled. It's not perfect. It's not exactly graceful, but it works. So that was the sled project. I hope you learned something about lashing, pioneer skills, or even just procrastinating about doing your Latin essay on a snow day. Thanks for watching.